Alex recently left this question on one of my videos. What's your opinion on vowel modifications? I've heard some other singing teachers talk about how changing vowels while ascending in pitch is either necessary somehow, that it helps with singing through breaks, while others claim that vowels must remain pure. Interesting question, Alex. Let's talk about vowel modifications and how to use them in contemporary singing.
Sound check. Check 1, check 2.
Hi there everyone, welcome back to Voice Essentials where everybody sings. My name is Dr. Dan. I'm so glad you chose to click on my video. Vowel modification is one of those interesting topics that doesn't receive a whole lot of attention in the world of contemporary vocals because many contemporary genres employ speech-like patterns, and so modifying the vowels can detract from the tonal and articulation qualities. In classical singing, however, vowel modification is definitely a thing. But of course, Voice Essentials is a contemporary vocals focused channel, so we'll only be addressing vowel modification when learning contemporary singing in this video. As I just stated, the aim of most contemporary vocals is to maintain speech-like patterns in our singing. Always remember, we want the lyric to be fully understood by our audience, and this requires clear articulation with pure speech-like vowels. And this presents a real challenge to the contemporary singer because certain vowels don't play nicely throughout the entire vocal range, especially when singing through the register transitions. And this is where we need to introduce the term vowel migration into the discussion. Kenneth Bozeman defines vowel migration as the gradual timbral change a vowel undergoes when vocal tract shape is maintained while pitch is changed, due to the changing relationships between stable formants and changing harmonics, especially evident when harmonics pass through the first formant. Simply understood, vowel migration is the passive or unintentional change to the vowel sound caused by a static vocal tract shape as the voice sings through its entire range. Vowel modification, on the other hand, is the active or intentional change to the vowel sound produced by the varying vocal tract shape as the voice sings through its entire range. So today I want to look at a couple of singing exercises that will help you to workshop your vowel shapes and their accompanying vocal tract shapes. These activities work to lessen the singer's unintentional vowel migration by consciously workshopping vowel changes. In short, these are not classical vowel modification exercises, but are more useful to the contemporary singer for vowel accuracy. I'll be using a couple of tracks from my exercise CD, Dr. Dan's Voice Essentials, for today's activities, so make sure you download a copy if you haven't already. The downloadable CD is super helpful if you're looking to develop your singing voice. It'll also be helpful to have some type of recording device handy, like your smartphone, as we work our way through the exercises, because listening back to your vowel shapes will help you to hear when you're hitting, and more importantly, missing the true shape of the vowels we're aiming at. The first exercise we'll do is track 11 from the exercise CD. We'll be singing an arpeggio while alternating between two vowels, E and R. There are a few things I want you to look out for when doing the activity. Firstly, you'll notice that both vowels use slightly different levels of air pressure. The E vowel is formed with a far more narrow vocal tract, so if you incorrectly use the same level of airflow for the E vowel as you did for the R vowel, you'll find that the E wants to constrict, making it harder the higher you go. Try orientating your sense of air pressure to the E vowel and allow the R vowel to follow. The second thing to workshop is the placement of the vowels. E is one of the most forward placed vowels, while R is one of the more open and backward placed vowels. Be careful to keep the tip of your tongue placed in behind the bottom front teeth for both vowels, but allow the tongue to rise for E and lower for the R vowel. But be careful not to let the tongue retract back into the pharynx and sit heavily on the larynx. And one final thing before we sing through the activity, as the scale moves upwards, you'll find you'll need to transition registers. When you reach that transition point in your voice, I want you to work on maintaining the integrity of the vowel shape through your entire range, as well as remaining consistent with the register placement. That is, transition down at the same place that you transitioned up. Let's sing through the activity. The second exercise we'll do today is one I generally use for the development of twang. Today we're repurposing the exercise track 6 on the downloadable CD to help us with our vowel shapes. The activity doesn't require us to sing across a wide range. Instead, it allows us to focus in on the vocal tract shapes required by each of the 6 vowels we'll be voicing by singing them on a single note. Now, between each note we'll be adding an NG, which does help with twang, but this time, however, I want you to think of the NG as a reset point between each vowel. This is going to make your tongue work for the unique shape of each vowel. You might also like to try doing this activity while you use your index finger as a spacer between your teeth. This helps to deactivate the jaw and causes the tongue to do the majority of the vowel shaping. Let's do the activity together. Sing nang nang ning nang nong ning. Sing nang nang ning nang nong ning. Sing nang nang ning nang nong ning. Again, I highly recommend recording your practice of these 2 exercises. Listen back to the recordings and make sure you can clearly discern the vowels. For example, E has a terrible habit of becoming I or E. So continue to workshop the exercises until you've achieved clarity for each vowel. And of course, these activities are focused on Western English spoken vowel shapes. But I dare say you should be able to translate the activities into other languages when seeking to achieve vowel accuracy for your native tongue. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you're new to my channel, allow me to invite you to subscribe if you're serious about learning to sing. I upload new videos every week, and each one is focused on developing your voice and improving your sound. I hope to see you again soon. My name is Dr. Dan. Sing well.